Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we are from group 3, from Introduction to International Relations. So this is our presentation of English School in Theory of IR. Firstly, I will introduce our group team. First, my name is Rai Ranggawi Biksono, and this is Thessalonica Anastasia, and Grace Amelia Suherli, and lastly, Angelica Sasmita. Next. Okay, the first one, I will talk about what is English school in theories of IR. The English school is largely a constructivist theory, emphasizing the non-deterministic nature of anarchy in international affairs that also draws on functionalism and realism. Next. So the main idea of the theories is English school theory is built around establishing distinction between three key concepts. The first one is the international system. The second one is the international society. And third is world society. By doing so, it opens up a new space in IR theory and offers a middle ground between the opposing theories of realism and liberalism. Next. Okay, so the next will be explained by Tessa.
Okay, thank you, Rai, for the opportunity. Okay, now is the history or the history of the English school in international relations can be tracked to the mid uh, 20th century and the works of scholars such as Martin White, Herbert Butterfield, and Hadley Bull. Uh, these scholars were based at the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom and were interested in developing a new approach to the study of international relations that would take into account the role of norms, values, and institutions in shaping global politics. Okay, the first person is Martin White, is widely considered one of the key figures in the development of the English school in international relations. He was based at the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom and played a significant role in shaping the theoretical framework of the English school. One of White's most important contributions to the English school was his concept of international society in his book System of States, published in 1977. White argued that international society was a distinct realm of social activity with its own norms, value, and institution. He emphasized the importance of shared value and norms, such as sovereignty, non-intervention, and the peaceful settlement of disputes in creating a sense of community among states. White also developed the idea of the international system as a framework for understanding global politics. He argued that the international system was composed of a set of states and other actors, and that a range of actors, including power, interest, and ideology, shaped the interaction between these actors. Another important contribution that White made to the English school was his emphasis on historical analysis. He argued that historical events and process had shaped the development of international society and that studying history was essential for understanding the international system. Overall, Martin White played a crucial role in the development of the English school in international relations. His ideas and concepts such as international society, the international system, and historical analysis remain influential within the field today. Okay, the second is Hadley Bull. Hadley Bull is particularly influential in developing the concept of international society, which he defined as a group of states that share common values and norms and also interact with each other according to certain rules and principles. He also contributed to the development of the concept of great power management, which refers to the idea that the international system is not stable when great powers work together to manage conflict and maintain balance of power. In addition to his theoretical contribution, Bull also as a prominent figure in the practice of international relations, serving as an advisor to the British government and playing a key role in the development of United Nations. Overall, Bull's role in the theory of English school was significant as and because he helped to develop key concepts and ideas that continue to influence the study of international relations today. Okay, the last but not least is Butterfield. He is considered to be one of the intellectual founders of the English School of International Relations. Butterfield's main contribution to the English school was his idea, the wide interpretation of history. This refers to the tendency of historians to interpret the past in a way that emphasizes progress and the triumph of liberal value. According to Butterfield, this interpretation of history problematic because it ignores the complexity of historical events and diversity of perspective that exists within them. And Butterfield argued that historians should adopt a more realist approach to history and international relations, which recognize the importance of power and the limitation of human agency. He believed that international relations should be studied in terms of the interaction between different states and the norms and rules that government those interaction. And his ideas were influential in shaping the English school approach to international relations, which emphasizes the importance of understanding international society in historical and cultural context, and the need for a more and critical approach to the study of international relations. Next slide will be presented by Angel.
Theory in application. So the English school theory in application in real life is, I can conclude it to be four. The first one is international society and its norms. So the English school theory highlight the importance of international society, which refers to a shared set of norms, values, and practice that guide the behavior of states and other actors in the international system. So what it actually means is, in the world that is so many norms, values, and practice according to the people in the world, so it can shape the international society itself. And next is diplomacy and international law. So the English schools theory emphasized the role of diplomacy and international law in managing conflict and promoting cooperation among states or nations. The application of this theory involves analyzing how states use diplomacy and international law to resolve disputes and achieve their objective in the international system. For example, like Indonesia making a diplomacy to certain country or nation, Malaysia, US, and etc. And the next, the role of international organization. So the English theory recognize the importance of international organization in facilitating cooperation and coordination among states or nations. The application of this theory involves analyzing how international organizations operate and how they affect the behavior of states in different issue area. Like for example, the EU nation, ASEAN, and how this international organization can affect the behavior of the states in this international organization itself. And next, for the last is history of analysis. The English theory highlights the importance of historical analysis in understanding the evolution of international system over time. The application of this theory involves analyzing how historical events such as wars and emergence of new technology have shaped the international order and how they continue to influence international relations today. For example, I can give is after the World War II and the Cold War, in the world there's separated by the two superpower country, and it reflect the history in analysis. So as we know, it's separate to two big superpower, which is the communist and idealist. It is the reflects about the history in analysis. Thank you, and for the conclusion will be delivered by Ajay.
So, a short conclusion of what I already gathered from all our explanation is the English school is a constructivist theory that draws on factionalism and realism to create a middle ground between realism and liberalism. And for the origin, is by Martin White, Hadley Bull, and Herbert Butterfield developed a concept of international society in the mid-20th century. White argued that it was based on shared values and norms, while Bull argued that it was composed of a society of states that had developed through historical evolution and consensus. And then the last one is Butterfield argued that history was essential for understanding the international system. The last one are the three theories and application, which are international society and its norms, diplomacy and international law, the role of international organizations, and historical analysis, as already explained by Angel. Next, please. So these are all the references that we already gathered for the source of our topic. So, okay. Thank you for listening to our presentation from Group 3. Thank you for your time too.